Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yesterday, March 20th, a huge new update was released to the Necro game. So I want to do a quick video and talk a little bit about the changes to the game here. First thing I wanted to mention is the HUD has a brand new cool little button here, right here. Click it and it opens up and it has this like little book here. So we're going to talk about what all these different things mean and the patch updates that have affected the game of Necro. Okay, so first things first. The most important thing you need to know about the new patch is that they released something called Necrosis. Okay, Necrosis Survival. And this new thing is where once a week your character is going to go into a state of necrosis. What this means is, depending on your race in Necro, whether you're a vampire, demon, or lycan, you're going to be hit with necrosis once a week for 2 hours, okay? Times for necrosis are still being determined, but before they patch it again, currently, vampires, it's Monday at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. SLT, okay? Lycan, it's Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. SLT. Demon, Saturday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. SLT. So depending on your race, you're going to have a 2-hour time bracket during the week where you are hit with necrosis. Again, they're still deciding on the time frame, so it's very likely to change in the very near future. So, what does necrosis mean? Once your 2-hour necrosis begins, you're going to start losing blood like crazy. You are hit with a 5% health reduction every 5 minutes, so you cannot last the 2 hours without dying, okay? If you're logged offline, you will not be affected by necrosis, so that is cool. But there's some benefits for surviving necrosis, and we're going to go over those in a minute here. Now, while you're in necrosis, you can only use your weapons, you cannot use cards, you cannot be healed, and you cannot do land dominations while you're in your necrosis. So basically, you can't do jack all when you're in necrosis, so you're not really going to want to be fighting during this 2-hour time frame. So basically, in order to survive necrosis, you need to get onto this thing, and this is called a altar, I believe. It's an object that Necro is giving out for all of us to be able to use. You sit on this altar thing for 2 hours, and it prevents you from dying and losing health. It's still being patched right now. Kinks are being worked out because, again, this patch just came out yesterday. When you're in necrosis, if you die, you are going to be losing 5% experience. So you want to really try to survive this necrosis if you're online. Now, back to the book here. Depending on your race, if you're a vampire, this is the bar that you're looking at. This is the sun bar. If you are a demon, I believe, don't quote me on this, but demon is for either light or lunar eclipse, and then lycan, probably lunar eclipse is for lycan. This one right here is probably for demon here. But when necrosis begins, the bar, it will be full, it will drop down as necrosis continues during the 2-hour time frame. Once it runs out, that means your necrosis is over, and you survived. Congratulations. Next thing I want to talk about. So, if you survive a necrosis, guess what? You get a trophy! Yay! It's called an alchemy item, and it's going to appear right here, okay? So once a week is necrosis, okay? And when you survive your first week, you get a trophy. If you survive 3 weeks, guys, you get 3 trophies. And when you unlock all 3 of these great little alchemy trophies, guess what? You get a new button that appears on your HUD. Now, I don't have the button to show you because I haven't unlocked it yet, but I'm going to assume that it has something to do with this thingy down here. So, when you unlock the 3 trophies, you will be able to hibernate. What this means is you will not lose blood for 3 days if you put yourself in necrosis. So right here, when you touch the hibernate button, you'll enter into a hibernation state, which lasts 3 days. So You're basically going to unlock a new ability after 3 weeks where you'll be able to not lose blood for 3 days, which could be really useful if you go on vacation, if you're not active in SL, or if you haven't been playing for a few days but you don't want to lose blood and keep feeding. Hibernation is a really good tool to be able to use to stay alive so you don't lose XP, and you can stay alive in the game even when you haven't been playing. If you go away, if you're not online, if you're not active, if you're busy with your other games, you can go into hibernation and then you won't lose XP. But again, you only get it when you unlock these 3 trophies. So, the rest of everything else I'm still figuring out, but that is the basics of the new update with Necrosis. Any questions, message me. Again, I'm just a regular player just like you. I don't work for the Necro system. I don't claim to be an expert. And right now, everything's really being patched out and worked out right now. So you gotta just be patient, hang tight. Things are gonna work themselves out. And we'll see how this unfolds. Hopefully in a few weeks or a couple months, they'll release another update where you can maybe get a benefit when necrosis hits, you know, because right now it's just kind of a weakness for you and you need to survive it to get this hibernation thing. But that would be really cool to see a cool benefit that you could get depending on what race you are. So we'll see how that unfolds. Any other questions, message me, message a moderator, and I hope everyone has a great day.